Welcome to this edition of SAU Weekly, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University. I'm Cooper Ull.
And I am Malu Coelho.
Last week, SAU's administration announced a multi-million-dollar upgrade for the Cosgrove Cafeteria, sparking interest among students and staff about what changes we can expect. SAU Weekly's Nick Zapata gives us a sneak peek into the new project.
The recent announcement of the new Cosgrove Cafeteria has the entire SAU community buzzing. The project, when completed, will boast expanded seating and more dining options for students and staff, including a new hangout spot to relax and do homework in. Students like Kaylee Bergschneider are excited for the new changes.
I think it'll be a good addition to St. Ambrose, and I think a lot of the students are going to enjoy it.
Students can expect some new food offerings in addition to their current favorites in the new cafeteria.
We're actually hopefully adding a bakery to this building, and then we'll have bakery offerings of bread, cookies, etc., versus the main line. What we're doing is it's called simple offerings. Basically, it would not have any of the 7 allergens.
Students and staff alike say this project is long overdue.
Just to improve the cafeteria setting and make it more of a updated dining hall, better experience for the students. Some of the equipment will get replaced.
Hannon is hopeful that the $6 million project will be completed just in time before students come back to campus for the fall semester. However, a renovation this size is bound to come with changes that could impact students throughout the construction process.
March 14th, we're going to start putting up the fence. March 18th, during spring break, a lot of this concrete's going to come out, get some footings in, get started for where the stairs are going to be. A lot of noisy work. That way we can get it out of the way. Once students come back, there'll still be some things going on in the private dining area, but not so noisy that it'll be distracting for the students.
In addition, starting May 4th, the cafeteria will be temporarily relocated to the Rogalski Center for the remainder of the project. It's something that most students say won't be an issue in their everyday schedule.
I mean, for me, it'll be easier because I live in Bechtel, so it won't be as long of a walk for me, but I feel like it might be a little chaotic at first, but I think a lot of the students will adjust to it pretty well.
I'm not really concerned with me having to go around it all. I think it's going to be for the better. If I know that there's a great product coming in, the next cafeteria is going to be beautiful. It's going to be great. My one concern with it is that the food, they might not be bringing the whole menu. I'm a big taco guy, so I'm hoping they still bring Taco Tuesdays up there. Maybe Wing Day Thursday. I know that we're talking about a few stations up there.
As construction moves forward and these temporary changes take effect, it may take some time for students to adjust. However, these short-term inconveniences will prove to be all worth it in the end for the betterment of the Ambrose community. For SAU Weekly, I'm Nick Zapata.
Thanks, Nick. As a reminder, fencing along the sidewalk west of Cosgrove will be installed late next week. The area between Cosgrove and Ambrose Hall, however, will still be accessible throughout the remainder of the project.
On Tuesday, students were treated to a different sort of class thanks to Sodexo Food Service and the Campus Activities Board. SAU Weekly's Annie Kroll takes us there.
It's not advised to eat during class, normally, but this isn't our normal class. Students pack the Rodolski Center to learn proper dining etiquette while enjoying a full-course meal prepared by Sodexo staff.
And we're going to be able to learn how to properly eat, proper dining room etiquette, how to talk to people in a professional context, and how to socialize.
Students were guided every step of the way, from before they even sat down to enjoy a meal, to how to properly cut food, to passing items around the table, and how to let the waiter know you're ready for your plate to be taken.
I think you gotta pass to the right, receive from the left.
Students like first year Michael Flavin attended not only for the chicken parmesan, but to prepare for the future.
I think dining etiquette's always been like a field that people consider a little confusing. So, I mean, if I get into the position, especially in a business situation, it would be certainly important to know.
And I couldn't help but take part myself. During the meal, we were taught not to be a chugger and how to place our silverware in the 4 o'clock position after our meal. Organizer Matt Ardoff also took part.
I'm a business major, so if I show up to a dinner in a few years with a potential client or a donor or an investor, and I'm there like picking up food with my like bare hands, or I'm just like completely like drinking my drink in like one sip, that's probably not the most professional thing to do. Some very fun friends here with me as well, so it's a great crowd to be with.
Among friends or potential clients, remember to mind your manners. With SAU Weekly, I'm Annie Krull.
To ring in Women's History Month on campus, Latinos Unidos welcomed a special guest to the Multicultural House on Tuesday evening. SAU Weekly's Malu Cuello takes us there.
Daisy Moran, a symbol of Latina woman empowerment, born and raised in Moline, Illinois, carries her Mexican heritage with her everywhere she goes.
Community is my heart. I believe in individual and collective healing. And so in my free time, any opportunity I have to be with community, to be in community with folks, it's really a passion of mine.
As the director of the QC Community Foundation's Center for Nonprofit Excellence, Moran shared her story. She once served as president of the League of United Latin American Citizens and even won the YMCA 30 Under 30 award when she was only 23. Now, she wants to pave the way for our students to find success.
You know, I may be the first, but I'm not the exception. I'm holding the door open for other people to follow.
Moran emphasized her passion for creating generational wealth and not repeating bad cycles. Students like Latinos Unidos Secretary Dora Martinez left inspired and optimistic for her future.
It kind of gives you hope that if she can do it, you can do it too. She talked about how she came from a single mother, how she had a 1.9 GPA, and she graduated from college, she went to a university, and it just is like, wow, if she can do it, I can do it too.
Mentoring students, even through scholarships and career planning.
Just having someone that is open to being, one, your mentor, and two, telling you how to get further in your career and how to like build your resume and give you like open those opportunities and kind of just make you realize what's available for you to do.
I want students to feel empowered to step into their leadership, step out of their comfort zone so that they can experience growth for themselves, to always silence the doubts and fears and that imposter syndrome, and to always feel confident in their abilities and their skill sets. You have the education, now it's time to implement that education into the real world.
For SAU Weekly, I am Malu Coelho. The newest campus renovation project, Higgins Hall of Innovation and Human-Centered Design, is now open to all students. To celebrate, St. Ambrose is holding a dedication ceremony on a Saturday, April 13th. The event will include special guests and SAU alumni Tom Higgins, whose generosity made this project possible.
The vision of Tom Higgins, who is the donor to this facility, was really about how could we ensure that a St. Ambrose education would always put the student at the center, the learner at the center. To strengthen student learning, we also have to have technology and accesses to spaces that really create different venues for learning. And so I'm really excited because I think the building blends tradition with innovation and really is a forward move for St. Ambrose as we think about the future.
To hear more from President Novak and learn about Higgins Hall, join us next week for a special edition of SAU Weekly. We will tour the historic building and feature what makes this space unique.
Coming up next on SAU Weekly, the midterms starting next week, we check in with our Students' Success Center.
We will learn more about the resources they can offer you to ahead of your midterm exams. We'll be right back.
The structures of the University Center is complete, but the building is just beginning to take shape. Many campus offices will find a new home there by next fall. Continues on the University Center. The last beam was put in place a few weeks ago, and more attention is being focused on the interior of the building. Plans for the interior include a ballroom, cyber cafe, and new student offices.
That's going to be security, all the student affairs people, Mr. Cabot and his staff, the mailboxes, the main operator, offices like that.
A food court is also planned for the new student center. It will provide quick foods such as pizza, sandwiches, and grilled items.
Next year we're going to include in our board plan the availability of the students to have some cash to spend as part of their plan. So they'll be able to go over there and eat at a different location other than the main dining room.
Currently, the construction crew is working on framing the exterior walls and roof. By December 8th, the structure will be enclosed and watertight. The project is on time and will be in use as of the 2004 fall semester.
With midterms next week, it's a busy time of year for our Student Success Center.
In these weeks, Watch the Bus, Cole Negan sits down with one of their tutors to highlight the resources they can offer you.
Thanks, guys. Joining us inside the Student Success Center is Will Haugen. Will, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
What are some underutilized resources that you feel like people don't take enough advantage of in the Student Success Center?
I'd have to say probably our study skills, because we can be used for kind of, if you need to study with like flashcards or anything like that, like that's something that we can do, but a lot of people don't know that. So.
Yeah, you're somebody who obviously tutors for a lot of different classes.
I do, yeah.
In your experience, how encouraging have the results been with some of the people that you've been able to tutor?
Pretty good. A lot of mine actually have seen huge improvements in their grades after tutoring with a multitude of tutors like me and a couple of others, so pretty good.
So coming up on midterms, you guys, obviously a lot of people are starting to see where their grades are going to fall, and they're going to start to reach out for help if they need it. How busy are you guys typically during this year? And yeah, what's the workload for you guys right now?
Yeah, on any given day we can see between 30 and 40 students. It kind of just depends on kind of what classes are needing tutoring for and kind of what, like, how the students are doing. But we do see a pretty big increase during midterms and finals week.
What would you say to somebody who is maybe a little hesitant or not sure about reaching out to the Student Success Center and getting a tutor or taking advantage of some of these other resources?
I mean, I would definitely recommend it. I mean, I've been a tutee and I've been a tutor. I mean, it's really just something you have to be willing to do. I mean, it's not hard, it's super easy. It can be anything that you need it to be, so it's not anything that you should be scared of.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty, well, thank you for joining us today. Enjoy your spring break. If you're in need of a little extra help heading into the midterm, make sure to reach out to the Student Success Center and see what resources they can offer you.
Thanks, Cole. Coming up next in sports, our track and field team finished their season with more school records and All-American honors.
And highlights from our top 10 showdown for our men's lacrosse team.
Join us back here after the break as we take you inside SAU Athletics. Stay tuned.
Ready the studio in 3, 2.
Welcome to this edition of SAU Weekly, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University. The Mississippi River crested on Monday at a near record high.
This is What's the Buzz with Abby Varcala. Staff members put many hours of work into planning the spring commencement ceremony.
But for Coach Bluter, her coaching career started right here.
Welcome to this edition of Inside SAU Athletics. On today's episode, we're featuring the men's basketball team.
We're featuring the men's and women's track and field teams.
We're catching up with the men's lacrosse team. Thanks for watching.
The Fighting Bees men's lacrosse team is off to a great start, climbing up to number 9 in the national rankings, and ready for their toughest opponent yet. It's a top 10 matchup as the Bees host number 10 Aquinas. We start early in the first when Mikhail Shadix finds the back of the net and puts the Bees on the board. A little later in the first quarter, Matt Cortopazzi would find his way to the goal and put the Bees up 2-1. Later in the first, Tyler Yetka would make it 3-2 when he would drive to the crease for this goal. And early in the second, Shadix would score his second goal of the day, putting the Bees up 5-3. The Bees would fall to number 10 Aquinas in a close matchup, 13-12. The Bees look to bounce back against Missouri Valley on March 13th. Now to Leloman Arena, where men's volleyball took on the Judson Eagles. In the middle of the first set, it's Andreas Indicati to Charlie Flynn for the kill, as the Bees find themselves down 13-7. Then in the second, it's Indicati to Flynn again for the kill to tie it up at 1 apiece. Later on, it's Mikolaj Zelenka with the putback to put the Bees up by 4 in the second set. Now on to the third set, it's Indicati to John Gooch for the kill, as the Bees look to come back. But the Bees would end up dropping this one in 3 sets. The Bees will be in Kansas this weekend as they attend the Kansas Wesleyan University Coyote Classic. The Fighting Bees track and field team crowned 2 All-Americans last Saturday at the NAIA Indoor Championships. For the women, Gabby Butler placed 4th in the 400-meter run, breaking her own school record by almost a second. For the men, Will Reemsma placed 3rd in the 600-meter run, capturing his 4th All-American honors across indoor and outdoor events. The Bees also had a number of other school record breakers at the event. Butler was able to break her own 200-meter record in addition to the 400-meter. Nick Norton also set a new school record on the men's side of the 200-meter dash. Finally, Chris Messerandino, Tommy Ashby, Dylan Grandin, and Trey Corby were able to break the school's 4x800-meter relay record. This past weekend, the SAU cheer and dance teams headed to Oklahoma City for the OCU Classic. Dance came in first, maintaining their rank of first place in the NAIA. They will head to Aquinas College in Grand Rapids, Michigan on the 14th to compete in the Northeast Regional Qualifier. Cheer performed well also, coming in second. They are now ranked second in the NAIA. Both cheer and dance will go to Ypsilanti, Michigan on the 29th to compete in the NAIA National Championship. The esports teams are staying strong this season, with over half the teams running positive scores in their New England Collegiate Conference. Rainbow Six Siege has gone undefeated, while Overwatch has won 4 out of 5. Rocket League is sitting at 3-0, and League of Legends has won 2 out of 3 games.
Well, the team's grown a lot, I would say, individually. And there's not one, thing we measure to measure improvement, other than just our record in general. But, whether it's academic, whether it's improving the stream, whether it's making sure we're staying active, whether it's working on our aim, these are all ways that we have improved and look to improve over the course of each semester.
Catch both interviews with esports director Mitchell Patchett and junior Carter Van Heck in this week's episode of Inside SAU Athletics. You can also catch the esports team's games on twitch.tv at SAU Esports.
And that's all we have for you on this edition of SAU Weekly. We'll be back next week with the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
Remember to check out the SAU TV Facebook and Instagram pages for our newscasts, top stories, and more. You can also find them on the Hive at sauthebuzz.com.
And before we go, we have a special announcement from us here in SAU TV.
Our winner for Best College or University Telestation is St. Ambrose University.
That was the reaction last weekend when SAU TV was named Best University TV Station at the Intercollegiate Broadcasting Systems Awards. SAU TV and KLA each received nominations in multiple categories, including Best Play-by-Play and Best Station Promo for KLA, and Best News, Sports Report, and Best Newscast for SAU TV. We're honored to be counted among some of the best universities in the nation and are very grateful for all of you for letting us tell your stories each week. Thanks for watching.